Hello everyone, as you know. There are 3 leaks for the upcoming episode 72 Part 1 that Boom posted in his Discord, along with the special announcement regarding the date of the episode's release. But I'm not only going to talk about them separately because it would be pretty boring, and I like analyzing things deeper on my channel, and that's why sometimes it takes more time for me. So what I am also going to do is that I will remember some of the answers that Boom himself has given in his exclusive interview and review those leaks with more depth and find more interesting details for you guys. And moreover, at the end of this video, I'll show you another leak that was published literally hours ago. Get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video. Prepare to watch this video to the end because it will be really interesting. Let's go, and before we'll get to the leaks, let me say a few words regarding the special announcement that Boom made in his Discord channel. Boom wrote that episode 72 turned out to be harder than he initially thought, and in order to not delay any further, he decided to separate it into 2 parts, and I already told about it in my video dedicated to the exclusive interview that Boom held with 2 Russian YouTubers. That Boom gets pretty tired of making such long episodes for Skibidi toilets and how he took a break after releasing episode 71 because he was crazy to make, especially following the full episode 70, which was even more insane. So it's no wonder to me that the upcoming episode takes literally forever to get released. And even despite how much I want to see it, I still respect Boom for being very responsible for the quality of his content, even if the making of it takes more time than usual. But fortunately for us, he accompanied this message with 3 leaks from the first part of the anticipated episode. So let's talk about them in detail. Let's start with the first leak, where we can see this Skibidi toilet with the pretty intense smile on his face. And he is not that simple as he may seem at first glance, although his general appearance and equipment looks quite ordinary. And similar to the other Skibidi helicopter, important detail about him. Do you see how round and smooth his toilet rim is, or to be more specific? It's not even a classic rim, but more like a plate. And I've never seen such core bodies of regular SK before. Except for the first part of episode 70, where the exact same guy appeared in front of the POV big cameraman with plasma minigun. But if we would go for the earlier episodes of the series, then we wouldn't see anything like this toilet, which means that such upgraded Skibidi were created a really short time ago, and that's not the only interesting detail regarding this guy. Check out the other 2 leaks, and you'll see how these upgraded helicopter Skibidi can also be spotted in the background of both of these pictures, here and also here, and I've got one obvious idea striking my head. Isn't this guy really similar to the leader of Astro Toilets that also appeared in the first part of episode 70? The form of their core bodies is pretty closely looking, although it's not 100% the same, and this idea may confuse you a bit because you guys surely know that Astro Toilets stopped being comrades of Skibidi Toilets since episode 60, and they are rivals with them as well. But I've got a certain theory about this. What if during the period, while the Skibidi army stayed in contact with Astro Toilets, and they fought on the same side, Skibidi scientists appropriated some of the technological ideas from Astrofraction. So even if they're not allies anymore, it's still possible for us to see more advanced and Astro-like Skibidi toilets in the newer episodes. Plus, do you remember how Boom said that Skibidi toilets as species are not going to get eliminated from the series for good and will stay, although they may get overshadowed by Astro toilets soon? That strengthens my assumption that Skibidi toilets are still about to stay, but their design will definitely get more and more altered as the series will go on. And also, in addition to that leak, I've got the information about the possible location where the next episode will take place. In this message, Boom is going to get started not in the Skibidi bunker, where Skibidi scientist lost his life, but within the territory of Alpha Hills Complex. And it's going to be pretty huge, and it's pretty interesting, combined with the other message that Boom dropped in, which he said that he's more hyped for episode 73, 74, and so on. But he didn't actually mention episode 72, and it can only mean one thing. The next episode is not going to be as fierce and dramatic as the previous ones, but will probably more chill and lore-focused, and even the battle scenes that we're still definitely about to see will not include any of the big boys such as Titans or Gaman, because we already know that Titans are going to show up in episode 73 and not 72, and we know that from the exclusive interview that Boom had with the YouTuber named ArmHOV. But I also think that Boom could simply underestimate episode 72 a bit, because according to another message he wrote, the whole episode's length is going to be 3 or 4 minutes, which is a pretty decent runtime, and just knowing that, I am sure that the episode won't be boring or lacking in anything at all. And also, I guess that Boom could have not included this episode in the list of his favorites, simply because it won't feature Titans, who may be his most beloved characters to animate, and also because the following episodes will be even more fire and epic than the previous ones, including episode 72. Now let's move on to the second leak, and there's a scene of intense battle which is going on, and honestly its vibe reminded me a lot of the beginning of episode 66, where the cameramen were also using lots of objects as their potential cover to shoot the Skibidi from and aside from the same Skibidi helicopter hiding behind this building in the background, who was fully shown to us in the first leak. There are also a few more details I managed to find. I couldn't help but notice those crashed and burnt cars that I also remember seeing in this frame in the first part of episode 70. And there was also another secret thing about this frame that stayed unanswered in case you guys forgot. There was a vague human-like figure that could be spotted sitting inside of this car for one split second. And I remember how I suggested whether this could be the secret agent inside of those cars. But I am still wondering about their purpose and why they were here on the territory of this base in the first place, considering how it's still the territory near Alpha Hills Complex. I can guess that it was full of real human scientists and military soldiers, at first and only. Sometime later, it got conquered by Skibidi virus. So I guess that some objects are pieces of inner and outer decor, seem to belong to and be used by humans, and not Skibidi toilets. And I'm still wondering, could there still be some of the real humans left on this planet, except for the secret agent probably, although I know that he's not really a human being, and more of some other, more highly developed entity. In any case, based on this leak, I can suppose that we'll see some ambush that was planned by some of the Skibidi toilets left in these debris on the soldiers of the Alliance, who seemed not to accept this kind of heat at all, because from episode 71, you can remember how no living creature was left from that hellish battle that took place within the same territory, and I think that those soldiers of the Alliance came in here and searched for their fallen comrades, or to investigate the battlefield where they got attacked by another wave of Skibidi toilets. And now let's talk about the last leak for the upcoming episode, and in it we can see the upgraded Skibidi mutant, and of course the most showing detail about his appearance that captures everyone's eye immediately is this large police shield that he's holding in front of him. And by the way, this shield actually reminded me of the shield that Titan cameramen used in episode 21. And considering how many references to the earlier episodes Boom started making recently, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And it's pretty interesting how we're getting brought back to Skibidi with a policeman-like a design again, because we haven't seen those for a really long time. The last time I could remember seeing the police Skibidi toilet was an episode EP 65, where the guy decided not to touch the white terracotta POV and pierce his ordinary cameraman comrades instead. But getting back to the leak, do you also see this fallen Skibidi toilet with the terrible mess instead of his face? It's pretty unnerving for me to even try to imagine who could have done such a thing to this poor guy. Could it be someone off-screen in this leak with some kind of cannon of insane projectile power? Considering that lots of characters are about to get emerged or reintroduced to the series, I am really intrigued of what we might see in the next episode and all the episodes following it. And now let's finally move to the freshest leak we have so far. Boom published it on the main page of his official store, which means that the episode's release is really close as Boom always posts the leaks in his Skibidi store in the last turn. The title of this leak is... And it also contains numbers 72 and 1, which of course refers to the first part of episode 72. This is obviously the same mutant we could see from the third leak published in Boom's Discord channel, but this time his face is completely exposed. So let's talk about his appearance some more. The expression on his face is really cunning and vile, and I assume that he showed his face right after he dodged some attack from the Alliance's soldiers, and now he's ready to respond with 2 of his rocket launchers, which still have the projectiles in store. Besides, there is another interesting detail about him, because if you look at the right lower part of the screen, then you'll see how he handles this curved crescent-like weapon. Write in the comments below about how excited you are to see the next episode, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, not to miss my new videos.